Okay, segment 6, the want to fight positives. Okay, now when you think about the want to fight positives, look around your community and see if you see the ones that fit into this category. 5% of the black population are want to fight positive. You will see them dressing in cultural clothing, wearing their hair natural, buying incense and oils. They sing cultural songs, have all kinds of cultural beliefs. They attend festivals and lectures and pretend to get things done, but they are as powerless as the blacks in the other categories. Political whites still make all of the decisions that affect their lives, and they, like the blacks in the other categories, do not even believe in competing with whites for those decisions that are made. They feel that if they do not get involved with the process, then the process does not affect them. Yet they are unemployed and unable to employ their people. They are poor and have no money to fight the whites that are now taking over their neighborhoods, even their cultural areas. They believe that if they just build a happy place, their adversaries will just go away and leave them alone. They constantly speak of their 400 years under white rule, yet they refuse to take control of those things in their lives that white people use to rule over them. Which one are you? Okay, so when you see all those cultural people and incense and oils, you'll now know why there's so many of them, yet nothing is getting done. They just don't seem, when you sit in these meetings, you see the same people saying the same thing that they were saying, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. All right. The last one, of course, is segment number 7, the fighting positives. Now, this is a segment you don't necessarily see as often or see at all. But just like whites are fighting every day, or there's not so much fighting, sitting back and planning the continued enslavement of blacks, you still have many blacks that are on a daily basis from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed, fighting against that enslavement of blacks and educating blacks along the way on how to fight that as well. So segment 7 is the fighting positives. Then there are the 5% of the black population that are the Harriet Tubmans, the Nat Turners, the Marcus Garveys, the W.B. Du Bois, and the Malcolm X's, etc. These are the blacks that know that there is no white person that has been met that wants to see white children under black children. These blacks know that when black children are placed in competition with a white child, the black child will excel. When black men are placed in competition with white men, black men will excel. And when black women are placed in competition with white women, black women will excel. With whites also knowing this, half of whites seek to make sure, and this is very important, because remember, black folks tend to call the southern whites racist, which is not necessarily accurate. They are, yes, they believe in promoting their race, and that's very important, but all of them, all whites, believe in promoting their race. But the difference is that you have to make the distinction that the whites in the South are the only true races when it comes to 100% promoting the white, the benefits of society. And in the North, you see what is actually white supremacy. So those are white people that believe that white people are God, the people who do it better. You can't get it done if you don't have any white people there. You can't get an organization done if there aren't some white people involved in charge. So, as I was saying, with whites also knowing this, half of whites seek to make sure that blacks are not able to compete. And these whites will lie, cheat, and steal to keep blacks out. That would be Southern whites. They would do anything to keep blacks from even being in the competition because they know that black people, given the same opportunity, the same equipment, the same space, would excel. And then you have the other half of whites who try to pretend that they do not agree with what the first half is doing. Yet they themselves do all they can to not stop blacks from competing, but keep black people from having the desire to compete anymore. If blacks think that whites are their friends, then they will be less likely to compete with whites, and whites stay in charge, okay? So when you talk about white companies in the North, they get these token Negroes in the company, and they pump up these Negroes' egos as if they're the best Negro there is, the only one that can be accepted. And so they never have to worry about a Negro starting an electric company and competing with the major electric companies, or starting, television networks and competing. They always know that Negroes at some point will sell that network when it gets big to whites, so they don't worry about that competition. It is the 5% of blacks that seek to educate and enlighten blacks on the need to get out from under the white charge. Which one are you? So now you have a little bit to go on to understand the discussions that are about to occur. Today's discussion being the restoring honor to black communities, what it would really take. And of course, in order to begin that process, you would have to first start seeing wherever you are as that same plantation. So if you're in the city of Chicago plantation, the city of New York plantation, the city of Los Angeles plantation, the city of Atlanta plantation, then you can navigate a little better when dealing with the various Negroes, the Negro politicians, even the ones downtown that drive you crazy because they promote inferiority. You got a bunch of field Negroes that are just happy to be slaves. So you are less frustrated because you actually get to see, okay, this is the category that they fit in. So let me deal with what I can do to help the people in that category. And that way you're not putting your efforts, the wrong efforts, toward the wrong people in, a category that is just afraid or not ready for what it is that you're bringing. So that's one of the things that it would take to begin this restoring honor to black people, restoring honor to black communities. Tomorrow we're going to talk about what it would take to restore honor to black men. So the discussions in the morning should be lively, as my women will no doubt chime in with their opinions as to what it would take to restore black men. But we're going to spend most of the discussion tomorrow morning also speaking with black men who are the best when it comes to knowing what it would take to restore honor and to black men, because they get to see what their friends, what themselves, and what their male children are doing and are headed toward doing. So tomorrow's discussion and tomorrow's show will be restoring honor to black men, what it would really take, part 2. So until then, we're going to have a lot of people calling in about today's show, but that's okay. Until we talk to you tomorrow, all power to the people.